This employment law video is on references. Seeking a reference. Generally, there's no legal obligation on employers to seek references from prospective employees, and an employer could employ someone without obtaining a reference. However, it's usually sensible to ensure that a job offer is conditional upon receipt of at least one satisfactory reference. When an offer is conditional upon receiving a satisfactory reference and a bad one is provided, the employer could withdraw the offer even if the employee has started work. If the reference was not conditional, however, then adequate notice would have to be served. If a candidate is going to be carrying out certain functions for a firm authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, or the Prudential Regulation Authority, the PRA, then the firm would have to obtain references from previous employers. Providing a reference. Generally, employers do not have a legal obligation to provide a reference. However, there are some exceptions. Organisations must ensure that if a reference is given, that they are not discriminating against the person because of a protected characteristic, such as age, race, disability, or sex. Any reference should be applied consistently. Also, if a person has made allegations of discrimination, brought a discrimination complaint, or provided information or evidence in relation to proceedings, then that person must not be victimised. In the case of FCA and PRA authorised firms recruiting people, employers may have to provide references depending on the particular role. General duty to an employee when giving a reference. If a reference is given, it must be true, accurate and fair, and must not give a misleading impression. It must also not be misleading for the prospective employer. Data protection. Under the General Data Protection Regulations, the GDPR, the first principle states that personal data must be processed lawfully, fairly and in a transparent manner. When providing a reference, if consent has been obtained and there's a legitimate request from an employer or a recruitment agency, for example, then this principle probably would be satisfied. So that's my video on references. The usual caveat is that this video is for guidance only and should not be relied upon for specific advice. For more information, visit my website. And if you'd like notifications on other employment law videos, do subscribe to my channel.